filling in anymore
Yeah,
because Frill is gone.
Frill is gone, Rita's here.
Crab emoji, Frill is gone. So it's more of he is now assuming the position. And Atlanta going to be on this first defense here on Horizon. Horizon Lunar Colony is going to be our first assault map of the series. XL2 here on the offense. Rena on Sombra right now, but I feel like it might be for scouting, though this would be an interesting comp.
You are absolutely right. It is for scouting. And XL2, we're just going to go normal 3-3. I mean, it does make sense, right? We're first point. Horizon, you're more likely to run into things like bunker comp, and you don't want to be caught by surprise by that as a 3-3. So the rotation does make sense.
Now XL2 going to be beyond the 3-3, pretty standard here. The mirror matchup going to be rotating through the space. This is a rotation I have consistently disagreed with, but they're going to be doing it anyways. Yeah,
you go into space where, guess what? People can't hear you scream, and that screaming is usually going to be you getting knocked very far away, and instead they get on through. It actually is not immediately punished. Atlanta lets them get in, and Akawa, under very heavy pressure, isolated, sent over to the side. Gator chasing him right on over. They get the pick off, and that got a little bit actually too dicey for Atlanta. They do make it their own, but man, XL2 got close to making that work.
And now XL2, they're having to back up, but Haku, who's caught behind enemy lines right now. You see Atlanta just walking forward, getting these other picks, but they're going to pick up Haku very late. He's still on high ground. He's going to drop now. So that was really just the split, the great isolation onto Akawa there. And that's part of the reasons why I don't like space, is that you could it's just much easier to get caught out, to get isolated.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I will say about the entire space route, all in all, is that if you're going to run it, I mean, it's usually used as a bluff, but I guess eventually you have to try and make it work one out of every 20 times, so it's no longer a bluff because no one's going to believe you.
To make it a believable bluff. Atlanta now pretty far ahead in that ult economy game. You see the rotation happening for XL2 again. Looking like they're going to fake, though. They're going to come back in, go up top, or maybe just rotate a point.
That was the most expected bluff of all time, where there was no way they were going to go space twice in a row. Of course, actually would have been the ultimate IQ play if they did. But Atlanta just going to hold on top here. Early bomb set up. Rena falling. Sugar Free able to find him 6-on-5. And Atlanta working with a lot of resources here. They're going to transcend towards the very end of the fight as they move on in.
Just going to be trading Transcendence here on the point. You hear the Shatter is out. Both teams just currently fighting, just finishing it up. It's going to be the Pope, and that's going to be Atlanta finishing up. And that was a great early bomb from Hawk as well. Hawk using that bomb to split XL2. The trance comes out for Hawk. It was forced, but it could not save Rena in time.
Not quite, no. And Atlanta right now, this has been a very formidable defense here so far. XL2, though, they do have plenty of ults in reserve.
And right now, Atlanta's still on the defense. XL2, though, they built up their ult economy like you talked about. 5 ults versus really going to be coming up to about maybe 2-3 max for Atlanta. They're going to have to get a lot of value here.
Atlanta just going to dive on in. Heavy damage to XL2 even before the first ult is used. Jer using the barrier is just full-on triage, except it's triage to the entire team at once. Gator going to drop the Shatter, knocks down 2, and now diving on in and over, and that's Haku falling right away.
And now it's just going to be, once again, the fight collapsing on point. There's the bomb out for Hawk. Gets Akawa late, but Asasi had already gotten 2. That's going to be Atlanta picking it up. XL2 having to back up. And Atlanta making the most out of their ult deficit there. You see them drop. They use that early grab to get the beat out, to set up Gator Shatter, who builds it, swinging on that grab. And really, it's just them being aggressive, making those initiative plays. You have to take the initiation in 3-3 when you're down those ults.
So XL2 finding themselves on the verge of getting full held. 20 seconds left remaining here. Final attempt, Graviton in reserve. Set the Transcendence. Hawk applying a little bit of pressure early on. XL2, it's a slow rotation. I mean, you might as well take your time.
Yeah, they need to take their time here. They need to get set up for the point. XL2 still moving in. Here it comes from the flank. That grab is up for Yaki.
Graviton up, Trent, and already early pickoff, Sugar Free out of the fight. So Atlanta getting caught in rotation. Gator in trouble, down he goes, can't drop the hammer. And XL2 just getting early isolation onto Atlanta. They took their time, it pans on out. We're gonna have a fight for point B.
Right now it is gonna be just cleanup for XL2. Getting those final caps, good grab for Yaki as well, setting up that first pickoff. As we're moving on to the second, just ensuring that everything works out. Atlanta, though, still have plenty in their bank for this defense. It's not going to be the snowball push for XL2.
Not quite, no. And now, 4 minutes left to defend here on point B. We have the early rally coming in here from XL2. XL2 trying to capitalize on any sort of momentum might have Atlanta. Oridin, oh boy, shatter in from Akawa, and it is Pager and Kirby with the fall through on the top. And XL2 getting exactly what they want here. And point A might have taken all the time in the world, but point B, it's over in a flash.
And I said, you know, maybe not the snowball push because Atlanta had so much in the bank, but they've made it work out perfectly. Here comes Saucy on the contest, on the Hammond. He'll be going down very, very soon. And that is a very fast time for XL2, making the snowball work. Set up from the shadow from Akawa, the bomb from Kirby. Really well played aggression, getting all those cooldowns, all those ults out early from Atlanta.
Very much so, and gotta say, the table's just completely getting turned there by XL2, and this is a respectable time for Horizon where, you know, all the sins of point A, they're kind of washed away here.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get that push, that first push off of the cap, even if you cap an OT, that's still a lot of time left in the bank. You get, you know, a pretty generous portion of time after you cap first, just because how hard it can be to get that first cap. Now XL2 going to be on the defense, Atlanta on the offense, hoping to match this time for XL2. They're not up against the wall by any means, because remember, they're ahead in the series. They're up 2-0. But obviously, if they win the map here, they've won the series. So they want to sort of finish that out.
Certainly so. So it's going to be XL2 here on the defense, Atlanta on the attack. And you take a look at XL2's defense. They're not exactly willing right now to move out on wackier comp that you sometimes see on point A. No variation of the bunker setup. No Bastion. No, nothing of that sort. Just going to be 3-3 for them on the defense. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, I'd probably expect more of the same. Atlanta, of all teams here in Contenders, is one that usually will stick to 3-3, barring a few openings here and there.
Yeah, they generally feel most confident on 3-3, especially when Gator is there in the lineup. You know, he's been a staple for them. He's been a main caller, you know, one of the original
he was patient zero
of the GOATs. I mean, it was widely accredited apparently the Tinsa actually coming up, but Gator was definitely a part of it. He may not have been the originator, but he's been a part of it for a very long time.
Think about it this way. He still had to play Ryan well enough in the very beginning to make people believe that that was a workable composition as opposed to a flash in the pan.
Yes, he was an innovator. He was still an innovator there. As Atlanta moving here, trying to fake out the rotation. They're going to look to try to go to point. XL2 probably going to drop, load up for this engage.
Looking for it here. XL2, they do try and drop down and engage pretty readily here. Akawa lucky to lead with his life. Atlanta getting the better of that. They are held back to a degree. Both teams essentially reset right now. But Atlanta, they've gotten fairly deep in. They're just one corner turn away from being on the points. And XL2 not going to heavily contest this as much.
And this is a very, very, comparatively to the XL2, you see these rotations from Atlanta are a lot more decisive. They get them off the high, they get XL2 off the high ground, now they can rotate directly to the point. As Akawa, the fire strike followed from the damage though, gets sugar-free.
Sugar-free out here early. XL2, they got really wounded in that, so that's why they don't immediately pounce. But as soon as Akawa is healed back up, which now he is, they're going to go in. Now they decide, now he's gives more than enough room to back.
And now, despite them getting means they don't sustain, don't unsaving right now, and grab much faster. Have that early grab. Could use it. I feel like they're gonna
might sauce use it right now. So is that the rotation bite super quick. They take all sure to all immediately start. They have time to breathe.
Shatter.
Not without a few way. Game to his room. That took it. Two should get Atlanta.
They from it's relatively soon. Everyone alive.
So to be interesting. Die. It's 8 already be able to save them here. Get a very beat. Only get back.
And that was a deny the pick. He's ball out for that comp. But off of
it was a grab. Yaki knew in, but the second
is great. Not the bomb comp. Should be take this.
21 left over in holding the shield a little more that Kyle pressure. Kylo's shield low. Gator thought it was going to he's looking Gator getting knocked around under pressure. Just barely saving to get a much big share in the reasonable for be the take it goes out to the middle fight 6% grab right the grab
this I don't D-Mac he might have
I think so
in the side he doesn't have to grab it out they lost the more also on top of the since he sees that Kirby did exactly what it overall like a team over there what
definitely you point to the Lessard thing you're when you grab that you don't want your grab to get so you know you're paying attention to all what's going on and when you suddenly notice Eva and you go wait that means nothing and the answer is yes
position like you can see the part from his team batter and go saw when he was not in that fight. It was you get
time ticking down for the teams. I mean, one thing we even the two teams just
yeah, the time is different. Like they're relatively so off. Maybe it's going to match up once again. And now we want to look to much more, much more specific game.
Oh, now what do we see? High ground, but it's low side. They're taking time and
it's not yet. You're on the ground. I think that's all worth lose just back and high
over early on the Atlanta there, so plenty of time. And in 2 minutes, XL2's first.
That will be less of a this times 8. You know, the only sort of the I don't know, but it created his life. It's worth
it. Healing done. Be up a little fight right now. Advantage. And already eating a lot of damage. saved. They're looking for on off.
They have 4 to base work. Better and
pretty early. Okay, and we are back. The lights are back on. The power is back. Right now we're watching Junkertown. Anna has started out to a very quick start.
Yeah, Atlanta getting a very, very aggressive first cap there. We're moving here 3 seconds, trying to catch the for XL2. Here on Junkertown, and they're going to be taking the high ground. They're moving up, setting up, and they want to deny any sort of early push here. You know, holding this counter high ground means that Atlanta, they're in a much better position to stop the drop down from XL2.
Very much so, and for now, they're being a little bit more reserved. I mean, part is that they still have to push the payload while they're waiting here. And already heavy pressure on the arena. And he's not going to be able to sustain. Almost got out of there, but not quite. Now you're down your Brigida. Akawa, nowhere to go. And Atlanta can make that a very decisive fight where, again, they did not have to throw much of their own resources into it.
No, only the rally invested. Some great loops from Ajax again, displacing XL2, making them get minimal value out of their cooldowns. Cleaning up, getting those frags, but XL2 also did not commit anything of their own. So it's going to be a 6-ult v 5-ult fight for this final contest for a second, because there's no way XL2 will give this up for free when they have 6 ults in the bank, or almost 6 ults in the bank.
No, definitely not. And XL2, they're going to be hitting on up here from the high ground, buying their time. Akawa, first to drop. Atlanta, plenty of time to decide how to deal with this right now. Looking for shield pressure, forcing out the grab pretty early. Transcend's gonna be on reserve. Kirby, the self-destruct to the skies. Not gonna catch much of anything. Meanwhile, Ajax didn't even have to use beat in response to that. Atlanta on cruise control right now. Not only taking the fight, but getting to save the beat as well.
Yeah, the combo a lot better for Atlanta. They just managed up better, get Hawk's bomb in a better position, have Gator get charge. Not able to defend second, and a really rough position for XL2, since not only were they not able to defend this time bank, but they almost all their ults into that defense and did not win.
Yeah, I mean, that right there is sort of the just absolute most feared thing when it comes to ult economy, is using everything you have and getting absolutely nothing, where that's a big change in the flow of the match. Instead of fighting now for point B, they're stuck at point C. You see both teams right now invest the rally. Gator on the bottom, holding on to the Shatter. Ajax, early beat, set up by the Shatter the other side, knocks down 2. Rina and Yaki in trouble, and Rina's going to go down.
And with Rina and Akawa both down, that is going to be the fight win for Atlanta. Ajax really glad that he saved onto that beat, because that beat was crucial, keeping Gator alive, allowing Atlanta to re-push. Now they're still going forward. Saucy going to have another grab here, and there are no support ults up for XL2. So Saucy will be in a good position here as long as they can get the Matrix out from Kirby. They get a good grab.
Yeah, I mean, Kirby did come in very, very clutch in the previous game, getting the grab beat, but how often can you go to that well and expect it to be a thing? Saucy probably more on guard right now, setting up grabs, and Atlanta just taking their time.
Yeah, taking their time, but also managing to keep 2 on the point the entire time. The engage is going to happen soon. I really think Saucy should know, he should be aware of the ult ad here. They're trying to get this pressure onto the Matrix, trying to set up this grab.
Well, Transcendence is going to be up here from Haku. He's going to use it immediately in reaction. Self-destruct on the side from Kirby. Not quite getting what they want. Meanwhile, Shatter out from Akawa. Atlanta able to withstand. Gator getting close to a Shatter of his own. Bird's Transcendence has been used. So both teams looking pretty true. As Akawa gets displaced, up and over, down he goes. Gator, plenty of room for a Shatter right on after. Emergency Graviton in here from XL2, but XL2, they are far too wounded in the middle of this fight. It's Atlanta with a tremendous advantage, and they're going to be able to use that advantage to bring this into the end.
Very, very fast time for Junkertown. Over 3 minutes for a Junkertown offense? That's blazingly fast. That is in a very, very fast time. Atlanta have to feel confident. Their usage of ults was fantastic throughout the map. XL2, it really what just, you know, I guess the straw that broke the camel's back is that they just weren't able to defend second with all the ults. 6 ult ad.
No, that is absolutely where things went. Where, look, if you're going to be investing everything you need to make sure it actually works. Where multiple instances in Overwatch history where this isn't quite the same. It's like Atlanta did have their own ults that used in response, but you know, some of the most memorable moments on the negative for teams Overwatch come from when you have 6 ults and get nothing.
Yeah, having 6 ults and losing the fight, and not only just having 6 ults, but it wasn't ult ad. They did have 1 more ult in Atlanta, so it is definitely rough. Not going to be good by any means. They still have their offense here to match pace with Atlanta, even if they might not be as time. So they're still, but a very, very good offense for Atlanta.
What it means for Atlanta as they look to their defense, they can do whatever they want. even if they get completely rolled over, it's going to be hard for XL2 this time. So defense off in pretty much any way you can imagine.
Looks like they could potentially on pirate ship strategy. They're probably going to be making these swaps back there. I was thinking they might have been peeking out with the Bastion and then just swapping back, but they're going to be swapping back on the 3-3. Atlanta, notice how holding. They're going to deny that early cart push for XL2.
We see teams do this quite a bit. I mean, part of it is that if you get rolled over early, you can just kind of bide your time, get back to the point before the very end. Haku eating a lot of poke damage early on. That was courtesy of Bird. Orbs directly on over. But now the fight getting a little bit more up close and personal. Atlanta just not letting the payload go very far at all.
Yeah, they're making the right play here. They got built some time off the clock. They're continuing to contest at all angles. See these bubbles traded here on the card. Kawa getting bashed so low, but he's going to back up.
Kawa able to get on out. Good displacement there that ate him. And Atlanta, they going even deeper. They get Rina, but comes at cost. Both Brigidas out of the fight. The problem for Atlanta is that even if they get another pickoff here, they need to start backing out. The spawn room from XL2 is right there. Atlanta's a lot further by comparison. And now this has to be a full retreat, lest it become a rout.
It is. I mean, they're not in a retreat. They're just going to die on cart. But it's essentially a retreat. And still a very, very initial forward hold for Atlanta. They're going to have that transcendence up to the grab as well. XL2 though, they're not behind ults of their own. They're going to be fine. They're going to have 5 up very soon. So this next fight will be the defining thing. It was really going to be based off, can Bird's Transcendence deny a lot of the value for XL2?
Oh, not if he's dead. Okay, he gets healed up. He came very close to getting picked off there. But for now, still alive, still in it. Transcendence on deck. Akawa knocked down. Pressure going on to him. Sorry, Bubble able to save him just in the nick of time, but they don't like how that's going down early. Shatter, giving the best here. XL2 gonna shrug it on off. Shatter the other way. Taking Atlanta. Transcendence out. Hawk gets 2 in the middle of that. And Atlanta gonna hold it out.
And really, I guess it didn't come down to Bird's Transcendence there at all, because they were able to get out that early trans from Haku. Atlanta was able then to set up a grab for Saucy, who's already to another. They cleaned up, have beat, and by the time he did have beat, he couldn't drop it because it wouldn't have saved him. So much better engage for Atlanta. That early Transcendence and setting up their grab, and already Saucy 62%. Even more, he's building so fast.
I mean, also leading into it too for Atlanta is that this is a much better defense than what XL2 had. They've already bought themselves far more time than what we saw before. Bird again, a bit of early pressure in the back. Somehow shots landing on him. Ajax builds up the barrier here.
Team's still just contesting on the corner. And notice now Atlanta, they have their combo here again as Bird gets the early pick off on a Jern, no beat.
That is so incredibly tough for XL2. It essentially costs them a fight's worth of time. Fight now. Okay, Atlanta goes a little bit far forward, and they end up losing Ajax there. So that's
honestly,
actually really tough. But, oh, okay, on the other side,
they're still in. They're still in,
They're still very much in it.
They're still in. XL2 is, no, I mean, XL is in. Like, they're in for some reason. They get the pick. They've been isolated, split. Are getting these late staggers. It doesn't really matter if you pick up Ajax because he's fast. He's Lucio. If the rest of your team is still just dying.
So now we are getting into what is a minute here, as Atlanta has been holding very strong. XL2 not with a whole lot of resources in reserve.
Here comes XL2 moving towards this flank side, going to be moving over to the high ground.
Shatter from Gator, ambitious. Doesn't get much of anything. XL2 just walks up forward and says, "That's all you got." Good dive on in. But coming in, early pickoff. You see XL2 now in a bind. They're going to use barrier. Try moving on in. Self-destruct the other way. Atlanta in pressure as XL2's desperately trying to make this happen, but the too much. And now they can throw it the other way. They get 2 early pickoffs, and it's going to end right here. It's going to be Atlanta taking the series.
I mean, this should be a forward. This should be affordable. There's no way on earth I can see XL2 coming back, touching the point in time. Saucy getting that early feedback onto Kirby, setting up the grab, forcing the trans, and this will be the forward hold. This should be the 3-1 for Atlanta as the combo comes back. And Saucy has another grab for this fight.
Another grab for the fight. Might as well end with a bang. Atlanta finishing off XL2. It was a very interesting comeback from XL2 on Horizon to make things interesting, but seemingly they used all their power there and had nothing left in the tank for Junkertown.
Yeah, they used all the nitrous on Horizon, and they didn't have any left for the final stretch of the race. Didn't have it for Junkertown there. So good hold for Atlanta. Saucy woke up as the series progressed. For someone that hasn't been playing Zarya for 4 weeks and now comes in and has been playing and played great, he was getting initially outbuilt by Yaki, but he just woke up as the series progressed. Bird also had great moments. I mean, overall, the Atlanta roster looks so much better with this new addition.
And I mean, good for Atlanta, where Atlanta overall, the course of the season, has looked weak. They've looked vulnerable relative to where they were last season. And of course, the main goal for any team here, yeah, it's not just about winning your particular division, but it's doing well enough that you can reasonably compete and get to the Atlantic Showdown later on the year, because the teams that get there, they're going to have the most spotlight on them. It's going to be the time where you can very well get to Overwatch League. So for Atlanta, where that's their main goal here, it's good that they've been able to adapt and now put together what could be one of their best showings yet.
Yeah, this could be, I mean, you know, they had a really good showing last season. So obviously they've had a little bit of dip this season, but if this roster gels, especially since they're, you know, with this locked in playoffs, they can be in a great position to have a good deep playoff run, to earn their way into that Atlantic Showdown, which is exactly what they want. They have a lot of talent on that roster, young talent as well, that'll, I think, mostly be eligible, except for Sugar Free, of course, be eligible for the following year.
He has to wait another 10 years or so.
Yeah, he has a long time to go. So Atlanta looking great, XL2 looking better, but now they are, you know, they're for sure still stuck at the 6th seed, and, you know, it's unlikely. It's very, very unlikely. But, you know, second generation could come and win all their matches and take XL2's spot.
You know, I guess here's a final thought before we go to break. One funny thing about Sugar Free's entire situation is that for a team where, you said earlier today, it's like, well, do you want to get called up to OWL? Just go to Atlanta. Everyone's getting called up. Sugar Free is the one piece there that they know isn't going to change for a long time.
Yeah, he's sort of locked in there for a very long time. It's what happens when you join an elementary school. And you know, you have to work your way up. You see the formative years of Sugar Free and Contenders.
Well, guys, that does it for our 3rd series of the night. Still got one more to go. Hang in there. We'll be back after a short break.